Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where we dive deep into the most fascinating corners of our world and history. Ever wondered how our distant ancestors populated the entire planet? Today, we're unlocking a prehistoric time capsule, peering into the past through the incredible lens of ancient DNA. Get ready to journey back thousands of years as we uncover the epic sagas of ancient migrations that shaped who we are today. So how do we do this? Scientists can now extract and analyze genetic material from human remains that are thousands, even tens of thousands of years old. Imagine holding a tiny piece of bone and being able to read a story written in its genes. This ancient DNA, or aDNA, allows us to directly trace the genetic footprints of ancient populations. We can see when and where they moved, who they met, and how they mixed. It's a genuine revolution in understanding our deep past, showing us a vibrant and complex picture of human history that was previously invisible, going far beyond what traditional archaeology or even modern DNA studies alone could ever reveal. Let's start with a journey of truly epic proportions, the peopling of the Americas. Recent groundbreaking studies using ancient DNA have illuminated humanity's longest-known prehistoric migration. Picture this: a journey from North Asia, across the Bering Land Bridge, a path made possible by vast ice sheets, and all the way down to the southernmost tip of South America. We're talking over 20,000 kilometers. This incredible trek would have taken many generations, thousands of years to complete. By comparing the genomes of modern indigenous groups in South America and Northeast Eurasia with ancient remains, scientists are literally mapping this astonishing expansion. Think about it. Modern humans reached northern Eurasia around 45,000 years ago, migrated towards Beringia by about 31,600 years ago, and eventually reached the northwest tip of South America around 14,000 years ago. These findings aren't just rewriting migration history, they're highlighting the incredible adaptability of early humans to vastly different environments. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, let's hop over to Europe. If you think Europe's history started with the Romans, think again. Ancient DNA reveals that Europe's genetic landscape is a rich tapestry woven from multiple major migration events. The continent's prehistory was far from static. It was incredibly dynamic. First up, the arrival of farmers. Around 9,000 years ago, the Neolithic expansion brought early farming communities from the Near East into Europe. And genomic studies show this wasn't just a spread of new farming ideas. In many regions, it involved the actual movement of people who interbred with, and sometimes largely replaced, local hunter-gatherer populations. Interestingly, in places like the Baltic, hunter-gatherers seem to have adopted farming through cultural exchange, rather than being completely overwhelmed. Then came the Bronze Age shakeup, roughly between 3,300 and 1,200 BCE. This period witnessed further significant population shifts. Large-scale migrations, including those from the steppe grasslands north of the Black Sea, dramatically reshaped the genetic makeup of Europe. Imagine people moving into southern Britain around 1300 to 800 BC, contributing to about half the genetic ancestry of later populations. This wasn't necessarily a single violent invasion, but likely the result of sustained contacts over centuries. Trade, intermarriage, and smaller family groups moving, perhaps from areas around present-day France. These migrations are also thought to be linked to the spread of Indo-European languages, and it didn't stop there. Even into the first millennium AD, Europe remained a crucible of movement. Advanced DNA analysis is now revealing finer-scale migrations during the Iron Age, the fall of the Roman Empire, and even the Viking Age. We're seeing evidence of Germanic-speaking groups moving southward from Northern Europe, and Scandinavian ancestry appearing in Britain even before the traditionally recognized Viking Age. It's a constant flow of people and genes. Let's journey east to Southeast Asia, another region with a fascinatingly complex history. Genomic research here is uncovering a layered story of migrations. Studies have identified at least 4 major prehistoric migration waves. We have early Hoabinian hunter-gatherers, showing genetic links to the Onge hunter-gatherers of the Andaman Islands. Then, Neolithic farmers with distinct East Asian ancestry arrived, related to present-day Austroasiatic-speaking populations. Further migrations include the expansion of Austronesian speakers into island Southeast Asia around 4,000 years ago, and later, East Asians into northern Vietnam about 2,000 years ago. This two-layer model, followed by other movements, really highlights the complex interplay of different groups in shaping the region's incredibly diverse genetic heritage. But ancient DNA doesn't just tell us where people went. It offers incredible glimpses into their actual lives. Take social structures, for example. At sites like Catalhoyuk in Neolithic Anatolia, DNA from individuals buried within houses has helped reconstruct household structures. And guess what? Members were often linked through the female line, suggesting that male-centered practices weren't always the norm. Fascinating, right? Then there's adaptation. By comparing ancient genomes, scientists can identify genetic adaptations that helped populations survive in new environments or combat diseases. For instance, studies on Neolithic European farmers show an overrepresentation of Mesolithic hunter-gatherer ancestry in a key immunity region of their DNA. This suggests these hunter-gatherer genes might have helped the incoming farmers adapt to local bugs and diseases. And speaking of diseases, ancient DNA is even shedding light on their history. Research has mapped how risk genes for conditions like type 2 diabetes and multiple sclerosis were dispersed during those large migration events thousands of years ago. It's like medical history written in our genes. The field of ancient genomics is constantly advancing, with new lab techniques, computational methods, and an ever-increasing number of ancient genomes being sequenced. This is providing us with an ever finer resolution to our understanding of these incredible prehistoric human journeys. Each new discovery adds another piece to the colossal puzzle of how our ancestors populated the planet, overcame immense challenges, and laid the foundations for the diverse world we inhabit today. It's a powerful testament to the resilience, adaptability, and the enduring wanderlust of the human spirit. What an amazing story our genes can tell. That's all for this episode of G Fun Facts Online. Join us next time for more amazing discoveries. Thanks for listening.